later on here in the show. And after I play the single for you in its entirety, it's entirely up to you if you want us to continue playing it as part of our playlist. If you want to hear it again or you want us to kill it altogether, you can let us know on Facebook at facebook.com/EGW Entertainment with a creative hashtag on our Twitter at Jonathan Clarke1, where we are following everything Miley Cyrus for you. And you can also watch us on YouTube at youtube.com/JonathanClarke22, the newly redesigned YouTube channel of HGW Entertainment. I want to know what you guys think of the single We Can't Stop, which also has an accompanied vocalist in this single that is a very unique contribution to a Miley Cyrus song. Never before have I heard an accompanied vocalist this effectively used in a single before, which makes this single that much more fun for fans of Miley Cyrus to hear. The comments of this single is something that really jumps out at me. There are thousands of comments of this single already dropped by fans of Miley, and it's just unbelievable seeing the amount of overwhelming support that you guys have given this single for both Miley's contribution to it and the accompanied vocalist that you hear in this single. Also, radio disc jockeys are also reviewing this single very positively too, saying that it's one of the catchiest singles that they've ever had the privilege of playing on syndicated radio. Now, do you believe that the upcoming album release for Miley Cyrus will put her on the same level of a Demi Lovato, which is a level that Demi has never gotten to, and put her on the same level of Beyonce or Jennifer Lopez or even a Lady Gaga? You can let us know what your opinion is of Miley's rapid ascension of success with this single on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Social media is really an open forum that we are using to reach out to you for your opinion, because your opinion is what matters. You will determine if you continue to hear this single as part of our playlist on this radio show. From time to time, I ask for frequent opinions on singles from the likes of One Direction or some huge artist that will release a single, perhaps someone that we haven't heard from in years like Justin Timberlake and Mirrors, which is one of the top singles on the Billboard charts right now. Who would have ever thought in 2013 Justin Timberlake would come back for the first time in years with a chart-topping single? He's had two since his comeback and the release of his first album in years, after a phenomenal reputation was garnered for him in the early thousands for singles like Sexy Back. He is back. You never would think that Justin Timberlake would be back and be outstanding like he is. And now it seems as if Miley Cyrus is trying to do the same thing for at least the first time in at least 4 or 3 years, which is incredible. You really have to give the devil her due. I've always been a huge supporter of Miley Cyrus, and that is something that I will never deny on this radio show, and probably for the next 10 years or for the rest of my entire life and existence. I'll be a Miley Cyrus fan, but I've always chosen to give her the benefit of the doubt. No matter how many hackers she had, no matter how much negativity was posted on her social media accounts, no matter how many things she desperately had to do to try to get away from some of the negativity, you really had to continue to support Miley Cyrus. And that's one thing that I chose to do, because I really believe that she still had the best years of her career ahead for her, even though she's no longer with the Disney Corporation and has metamorphosized into the music industry's latest sex symbol. I think that she's really going to rebound off of it. She's going to learn from her mistakes, and don't we all make mistakes? I mean, she's famous. She knows who she is, and she knows she can get away with doing certain things, and she's really using that to her advantage. She told Justin Bieber recently, when they were in a confrontation with the paparazzi, to enjoy these moments after Justin was frustrated, because you might have these moments one day to look back on. Those were words of wisdom from Miley Cyrus, as it was believed that she had lectured Justin Bieber during this confrontation with the paparazzi, who hasn't been that friendly at all as of late with the paparazzi. And can you really blame him? Because everywhere Justin Bieber goes, the paparazzi seems to be following him, taking cell phone videos of him, taking photographs of him, uploading videos to YouTube. And if it's not the paparazzi, it's the fans that have caught Justin Bieber on their cell phones uploading it to their YouTube accounts. Miley said, you know, you really have to enjoy these moments, because one day you won't have these moments to look back on. And if you do have these moments to look back on, you don't want to look back at them as one of the worst times of your career, when your career was on a downward spiral and going through a depressing time. Justin Bieber's career has been referred to as a train wreck. Maybe Miley was trying to give him a bit of wisdom to try to get him out of this rut and precarious position that his career found itself caught up within. Now, if you haven't heard the single We Can't Stop, very powerful lyrics from Miley Cyrus. Drop us a few comments on the lyrics of this single, and do you believe that this single references the use of the drug Molly, which is a consistently used drug by many people in the United States? It's one of the most highly frequently used drugs. Although in the lyrics of the single, if you actually Google it, I did a Google search, and the lyrics actually refer to Miley's actual name in the single, referring to herself, dancing with herself in this single, as opposed to the use of the drug Molly. So you really got to cut her some slack, and that's where the bulk at least 85 to 90% of the criticism has ascended from, because it's believed the drug Molly is actually referenced in this single. I think that we're taking the criticism of Miley Cyrus to a completely unnecessary level, and if it's not this, it would be something else. So it's nothing new. Following Miley Cyrus everywhere she goes, and it doesn't surprise me that she tweeted something as negative towards her fans. Now, when she debuted her new hairstyle, she said that this was her hair. She was going to cut it if she wanted, and she was even receiving negativity for that. I mean, we really have to stop this, because eventually what's going to happen is Miley's going to become very frustrated and probably do something that is completely unnecessary, and it's not going to be something in an effort to stand out. It's going to be something as a result of all this criticism that she's received from fans. At least 85% of the music industry hates Miley Cyrus's guts, and it's beyond me why. Maybe because of her family's reputation, maybe because of the previous success she had for 6 years that she was under contract with the Disney company, and since breaking away from Disney, you choose to hate on her because she's metamorphosized into an incredibly successful sex symbol, recently tweeting on Twitter a couple of things negatively towards her fans after shooting some photos of herself with her new hairstyle, saying that it was her hair and her head, and if she wanted to get rid of her hair, then that was her choice. And now she's releasing a single where she doesn't care really what comes out of her mouth in the way of lyrics, as long as she's getting something off her chest that she's kind of had built up inside of her for at least the last 3 or 4 years, ever since the release of one of her most successful albums, I Can't Be Tamed. Although it was an album that really didn't have a lot of things in the right places for me, it was one of her more successful albums because it was the first time Miley had conveyed herself in an entirely different and more powerful image since the release of other albums in 2008, the album Breakout, which was her first album having nothing to do with the Disney Corporation. This was her first album with an entirely different image and different singles with different messages, which was great for her, but it really didn't have a lot of things in the right place for me. And now this single and her upcoming album will hopefully make up for the last couple of years from Miley Cyrus, as we'll hear something more authentic and more diligent from her, and I give her the benefit of the doubt. I haven't heard the album in its entirety. It will be available for download off of iTunes, so if you pick up an iTunes card, it's going to be worth the money that you spend on the iTunes card. And if you download anything off your iTunes card or use your iTunes account for anything, it should be to download this single. And I'm not saying it because I've been a Miley Cyrus fan for years. I'm saying it because I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to be like every other radio shows and columnist. So when you hear this video review of We Can't Stop, I want you to take from this video commentary that this radio show host is kind of biased. You know, he's not judging Miley Cyrus. He's not immediately criticizing her like everyone else is choosing to do. He's just simply giving her the benefit of the doubt. Now, if you haven't already heard this single, a number of fans of Miley have uploaded it to their YouTube channels. They've already downloaded it off iTunes. Look it up on YouTube with a few keywords. Let us know what you think of it on our YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button. You can get updates from the official YouTube channel of HEW Entertainment, which is newly redesigned, and I will be featuring this video for you at youtube.com/JonathanClarke22. Tweet us something creative with a creative hashtag at twitter.com/JonathanClarke1, and get in on the conversation on Facebook at facebook.com/HEW Entertainment. We have always joined the conversations of Miley on social media. We've been a fan of hers on Facebook for a number of years. We've been following her for a number of months on Twitter at JonathanClarke1, and on Twitter is where you'll get the majority of your Miley Cyrus updates. She recently had the DVD release of LOL and of course Undercover, which was her latest DVD and Blu-ray release. Very successful film for her. She is really metamorphosized into this incredible superstar, both when it comes to the music industry and the film industry. I mean, So Undercover was an entirely different role and a much more challenging role for Miley Cyrus to portray herself in, but you really have to give her the benefit of the doubt, because playing an undercover FBI agent trying to track down someone in a university was just an incredible role and challenge for Miley, and she did it so diligently, and she was able to rebound off of it. Now, she's had a lot of negative things happen in her personal life, at least for the last 5 years, and you know, you really have to give her some slack, because she's really rebounded diligently off of it. She didn't have to go into rehab like a Demi Lovato. She wasn't receiving death threats or anything in the way of a Selena Gomez when she was involved in the first few months of her relationship with Justin Bieber on her cell phone and on her Twitter primarily. At least Miley has a lot of things going for her more positively than some celebrities. I mean, her career could be in the same kind of predicament that Justin Bieber's is in right now, and Justin Bieber could be the one giving her the words of wisdoms and the lectures, telling Justin Bieber that he had to enjoy these moments because one day if he had these moments he didn't want to have to look back on them in a negative way. Really smart words coming from Miley Cyrus, perhaps more smarter words in that lecture than what you will hear in this single called We Can't Stop. And maybe you can stop listening to this single. Maybe it's the catchiest one that you've heard on the radio in a while. It's been frequently requested. It's not quite in the top position on the Billboard charts just yet, but give it time, like every other single on the radio. I think you'll find this single to be more catchy and more impressive than what you're initially thinking. And if you're initially thinking that this single sucks without even hearing it, it's because you've never heard it before. Well, I've got it for you on our playlist. I'll have it for you next. It's the latest single to drop from Miley Cyrus. It's been frequently requested on syndicated radio, and I want you to tell us what you think of the single. Do you want us to continue playing it? Well, let us know by getting in on the conversation on our Facebook page at facebook.com/HW Entertainment, on Twitter at Jonathan Clarke1, and on YouTube at youtube.com/Jonathan Clarke22, where you can like this video and subscribe to us if you enjoy any of the content that you've heard on the official YouTube channel of HW Entertainment and on the official radio show of HW Entertainment, heard in the audio archives of our official website. The latest single to premiere from Miley Cyrus on the radio is next. It's called We Can't Stop. Let us know what you think of it. I'll have it for you on our playlist after the break.
When something takes place in the world of professional wrestling, you know where to go. WrestleZone.com. WrestleZone.com. Covering all the latest breaking news daily. Interactive forums where you can chat with thousands of other wrestling fans. Exclusive editorials and audio features by some of today's top wrestling superstars. Exclusive video content, weekly polls, live play-by-play coverage of every WWE and TNA pay-per-view. And now, featuring WrestleZone Radio, live with news, in-depth discussions, debates, and interviews with wrestling's top stars, past and present. When you think wrestling, think WrestleZone.